He's funnier than me.
Loves it, L-O-V-E.
L-O-V-E, oh actually he loves it.
Loves it, yes, loves it. What do I love? Everything.
Life.
Life, yeah.
Life.
Love it, it's my next tattoo.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
And again,
we were told two, so I don't see.
there you go. Thank you.
I think probably if people ask me, what was your, I played a lot of games for Tottenham.
We've got to bring up the Watford goal, the turn and the chip. Talk us through that.
Yeah. There was no one at the game, was there? Yeah. Oh, there was, look. Bloody, you must have been standing behind the goal. And, well, first and foremost, I wasn't playing particularly well. I was thinking, what's the matter with you? You have certain days where your legs are a bit, weren't there. And I'm thinking, crikey, what's wrong with you today? So it wasn't like I was playing a fantastic game and I was full of confidence. It was like, this ball, Brooksy plays me a ball in and I know I'm being marked, but I'd never done it that skill. Someone said it was a Cruyff turn, but it wasn't really, because Cruyff's turn is you're under control of the ball and you do that spin. It was like a semi-Cruyff turn, but I don't know where it come from. I'd never done it before, didn't do it afterwards really. I rocked my body one way and then it was instinct, and I flicked it and I don't know who was marking me, I don't know, he went for a chocolate ice. And then as soon as it was rolling away from me, I knew what I said, I'm going to chip him. And I think it was Shell, yeah, he was about 6'7". So, it was like, I wish I could do it with a lob wedge as it now is. And I just dug it out like a lob wedge and just cut across it, and it just had enough spin to bring it down. So it was, and then I celebrated, and as I'm running back to get my position, all the boys are jumping on me. I was thinking, where did that come from? Because I wasn't having a great game, and it just shows you how instinct takes over sometimes. With a footballer, with a golfer, tennis, sport, cricket, it's just instinct. It happens, and that taught me a lot. That it doesn't matter how well you're playing, you can still produce something. Even if I was playing bad, after that in certain games, if I produced just one ball that would put us in and maybe score, put somebody in to score the winning goal, that's always the case with me as a player, and I knew that. If I was playing well, great, but some games, if you were off, kept saying, and when I went to Monaco with Arsene Wenger, that's what he said to me. He said, sometimes when you're not playing well, you can produce things that, so you don't ever feel, he said, you probably won't, he said, but don't feel you're under pressure, and, to keep it safe and you do what you want to do. And that's what going back to when I was a kid, that was my instinct. I was prepared to give 2 away, knowing that I'll get Archibald in on the third one, or Brooksy in on the third one. You had to be brave. There's a different way of being brave on a football pitch. Not 50-50 tackle sometimes. It's receiving the ball in your mark tightly and producing those passes, knowing that you might get a bollocking from your crowd or you might get a bollocking from your teammate, but you have to do it again, because the difference is to make the difference,
A lot of people would probably agree that just going from what you're saying there, the tippy-tappy across the back, when you do that ball and that's left 2 people behind, then, but the tippy-tappy doesn't really work, I don't think.
Well, it's more about in the modern day game now.
In the modern day, yeah.
Yes, it's a bit strange actually, because everyone's playing the same way. I love football, but I've never been so disillusioned with VAR, what it's doing to our game. Not particularly VAR, but the rules and the way that we go backwards. Too many players go backwards and square and across, when they can go forward. And I don't mean long balls, but I don't know where it's going. You have to be very patient nowadays to watch a game. And years ago, back in my day, if anyone passed back to the goalie or went backwards, you get booed by your own crowd. Where now everyone understands that because they're used to it. They're seeing it. A lot of continentals, coaches, and you know, players, they're prepared to be patient and go across the pitch. I think they overdo it at the moment, but it's the way it is, you know.
Tell us about Monaco and your time there.
Yeah, I loved it. It was, I always wanted to go abroad. It was something, I think, continental football always was going to suit me as a player. In England, it was, you were fighting against the tide if you were a creative player, especially back in the late 70s and the 80s, you know. We didn't trust creative players. Even before me, Alan Hudson, as I mentioned, like the Tony Curry, Bowles, we had some wonderful players. They got 1 or 2 caps, 3 caps, they were lucky.
Can I just tell you one little story? One of our looking football guys is Tony Curry's brother, and we had a Q&A evening with Tony Curry. He was talking about England, and he said, we've done Levy, we've only got a few caps, and we said to Tony Curry, Alan Hudson, Stan Bowles, Frank Worthington, and one other. Stan Bowles, Frank Worthington, Alan Hudson, Rodney Marsh, stand at number 5, pull them to one side, and you're not in the next squad, you're no longer in my plans, and he bombed all 5 out in one hit, and Tony Curry was one of 6 there.
Yeah, there you go. And that happened, you know, that happened through the 70s. We won the World Cup in '66, should have beaten them, got knocked out by Germany in '70. And then if you look from '70, what they did for the '80s, and what we did, we didn't qualify for anything during that 10 years. They won the World Cup, they won the Euros, so they reinvented themselves. We stopped still. We had, you know, Sir Alf Ramsey, you can't knock him because he's won the World Cup, but he took the winners away. He played 4 midfield players and went 4-4-2. And it's not his fault that we had our head in the sand. We stopped still. We were lazy with our coaching and the way we tried to play. Because we won the World Cup, it held us back in a massive way. That's not Sir Alf's problem. It's up to the generation of coaches coming through the 70s that should have recognised that and changed it and trusted those young, creative players. It was always the way in England. You had to. So that's why I knew that, and I wanted to go abroad. 1970, we're 2-0 up, if you remember. Takes Bobby Charlton off. Takes Martin Peters off. The Germans come back, they score 3-2 and Portman knock us out. I'm crying, I don't know what age I was then, probably, I don't know, 13, 14. I'm in tears, because it meant so much to me. If someone had tapped me on the shoulder and said to me then, Glenn, you will be in the England squad the next time they qualify for a tournament, I'd have said, you're talking out the backside. And that's what happened. In 1980, we got to, that was the next Euros we got to. And I was in the squad. But in 1970, it's a little bad, crying my eyes out, thinking, where did we go through those years? We got totally lost. Even in the 80s, it was always tough. It was a little bit, you know, for Tottenham, thankfully, we played technical football. We brought Ozzy and Ricky. That changed for us at Tottenham, particularly with myself, bringing 2 World Cup winners in '78. And then suddenly we had someone that wanted to play creative football, and we played. That was fabulous having Ozzy and Ricky come. It really, really was. I mean, it wasn't all hunky-dory when Ozzy and Ricky come, you know. The first years was tough, wasn't it? We had some terrible results, and I'll allude you to a story just come to my mind. We go to Liverpool and get beat 7-0. Do you remember that? Yeah, I remember. Ozzy, Ricky, they had a fabulous thing. We get smashed 7-0, and they're thinking, crikey, we've never seen football like as quick as this. It's obviously a lot slower in Argentina. Anyway, we go back on the bus. Monday morning, we're thinking, crikey, Pete's going to have a meeting, he's going to absolutely pound us, you know. Ozzy had decent English, Ricky was having lessons, he just started some lessons. So, we come in Monday morning, Stevie P, skipper, says, come in, get in early. So we get in early. He says, look lads, 7-0. We're going to have this meeting, we're going to get absolutely hammered. He said, we've just got to sit there. Everybody's saying nothing. He said, we'll just sit there, take it. We might get out in an hour, if we're lucky. He said, but you just say nothing. Ozzy, tell Ricky. Oh, well, it says it in Spanish anyway. We're sitting there, and Keith's he's into everyone. Oh, what are you doing? He's absolutely hammering everyone. It's about 30 minutes has gone. Peter Trees, as he's saying, we're just sitting there, no one's saying a word, we're just taking it in. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Ricky gets up, stands up, and everyone goes, what's going on? And he says, Ricky, what would you like to say? And Ricky went, Keith, the cat is under the table. That's what he'd learned that week in his lessons. So we absolutely piss ourselves laughing. Peter Trees is in the corner pissing himself. Keith even had a little Yorkshire rice, and we got out of there in 35 minutes. It's the best bit of English he ever learned when he was here. It was brilliant. I'll never forget that. And one day he gave him the high fives as he came out. What's going on? It was brilliant.
Tell us just a little bit about your time as player manager at Swindon Town. Tell us a little bit about that and the playoff final.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about
Yeah, well, I came back with an infected knee, actually. I've got an infection in Monaco, that's why I came back. And that's why I can't play golf so well now. It's still hanging about. So I had a hole in the bone there, and I came back, and I was trying to get fit at Chelsea, funny enough, trying to just recuperate because it was near to my house. And then out of the blue, Swindon come knocking. Now, I don't think I'd even had a coaching session. Maybe when I was a kid doing some coaching with the youngsters, and Peter Day, who was ex-secretary of Tottenham, was the CEO at Swindon. Ozzy had gone to Newcastle, if you remember that. Ozzy had moved up to Newcastle, and they wanted me as manager. And I said, look, Peter, if you're trying to get me on the cheap as a player, I don't think my knee's going to be good enough to play. He said, no, we want you as a manager. So I'm like, okay. Had to think about it. I thought, yeah, let's do it, let's go for it. All excited. So I went and got my old mate, Johnny Gorman, from, I think he was a youth team manager at Orient at the time. I played with him at Tottenham. And so I said, we're coming down, we've got a press thing to do down at Swindon at the county ground. So we're driving down it's not Peter Bay, is it? No. We're driving down the M4, and I said to John, John, there's about 8 games to go till the season finished. I said, John, do you know where they are in the league? John went, no, I don't know where they are. So we pull into Newbury, the Newbury service stations, we get a local paper. Aussies left, they're 4 from the bottom. They're 4 points from the drop. And we're like, oh my God. So we go into this press conference, do the thing, sign out and everything like that. And it was fantastic. I look at our time at Swindon, we had a dodgy start and we kept them up. But then, some of the people that we work with, and I've got to say, the first day as a manager, I've gone in, excited. 9 o'clock, there's a knock on the door, and I'm thinking, right, big player, probably why he's not been playing, or has he got a new contract or whatever. So I open the door, all excited, and Johnny G's got another little room round the back there with the door open. So I open the door, and there's a lady there, a little lady. And she goes with her sort of Wiltshire accent, I'm Jeannie. I thought to myself, what bottom have you jumped out of? She says, I'm the laundry lady. And I'm going, she looked all scared and nervous. So she comes, I said, come in, Jeannie. So I sit down, she sits down across the desk. So she says, she's all nervous. She's obviously had sleepless nights about this. She said, Mr. RD, they promised me a new washing machine for the laundry room because the other one's broken, and she was obviously really, really uptight about it. So I'm like, well, I'm sure, Jeannie, that after training, I'll go and see Peter Day. I'm pretty sure that you'll get your washing machine, buy your washing machine. You don't need to worry. And she sort of relaxed, and she thought, okay. So she opens the door, she goes out, shut the door, and I say to Gory, John, I didn't know my first buy was going to be a fucking washing machine. That was my first buy as a manager. We're playing very good. So I'm just I'm playing at the back. And after 10 minutes, Steve White, Chalky White, goes up, gets sent off, centre forward, gets sent off. I'm thinking, like that, straight away after 10 minutes back. So John Mitchell, who I brought from Chelsea, really quick Australian lad, but he could put himself about. He's going about, he's trying to do the centre back. He goes over, he's trying to do the fullback. And I'm Mick on that about, Edge, calm down, the boy had Chalky sent off. Oh, sorry, Gaffer. So he's then gone across again, and I'm absolutely fuming. I'm at the back. the third time, he's gone across and done the left back, and the ref's gone, red card. And I'm perceiving, we're down to 9 men after 20 minutes. And now, the tunnel in Brentford used to be near the 18-yard box in the old stadium, and he's now got to walk past me. So I'm absolutely going at him, and he's like, sorry, Gaffer. Well, as he goes by, I'll boot him right up the arse. And their fans are going mad, they love it. So I boot him up there. Anyway, we held on for a 0-0 draw. I don't know how it was, it was just Brentford with that crap. So we held on for a 0-0 draw. And we were going to go to Heathrow, to go to Spain for 4 days, to La Manga. Bit of training, bit of sun, bit of golf. And so I'm fuming. I've come in, all the boys are happy, and I've come in, I've said, you ain't going to Spain. And all the lads sort of stopped. And I went in the shower. And then I can hear lots of stuff going on there, and all the lads are going up to Johnny Gould and going, John. Mitch is such a good lad, like, have a word with the gaffer, let him come. So John comes in and said that the boys want me. I said, no, he's not coming. John, he's let us down. So I'm watching here and that. No one's come in. The lads won't get in the shower. They're scared. I'm like, and then I'm thinking, as I'm doing that, I'm going, you know what? I'm going to turn. I could use this. I can turn this round. So I'll stick my head out back round into the dressing room, and I go, you can go to Spain. So they're all cheering now. I've got them on my side. They're all cheering, yes, well done, Gaffer. And then I went, but you ain't sunbathing. And that was it. We went to Spain and we had a great time. And some of the football we played was brilliant. You know, we had Johnny Moncur and Nicky Hazard, and Martin Ling, Kerslake, Calderwood. We had a fabulous team, played with 3 at the back then, back in the day, and played people off the park. They didn't know how to play against us. And we got promotion at Wembley.
So tell us about the playoff, scoring the first goal, but then obviously the disappointment that...
Well, there's an extension to that story. So you can imagine, we get to the playoff final, and there's that gap, 10 days, isn't there? In the season championship, I think it's on the bank holidays, you've got 10 days gap. So in that gap, we go away for 4 days, I don't know where we went. Just not abroad, but just to get an environment, because it was all exciting. Anyway, I then get approached by Chelsea to go to Chelsea at the end of the season. So I've got that on my plate. I'm talking to Chelsea, and I've decided, I'll give them my word. I said, yeah, we'll go. I've got obviously the plan to
You do it, and then I do the ball. That's all right.